Raw Impressions, episode number 17. The Trip recap-i-sode. Lou and Adele are back from their nearly 3-week trip to California and Lou to Hawaii for some Dinosaur Jr. shows. Then back home.
I like the way that he said Hawaii.
Who's he?
Our MC. Our narrator, our voiceover actor.
Lou to Hawaii.
I love him. Is he for hire? Is he available?
He's totally for hire.
He's totally available.
Anything you need. Mm-hmm. He's here to help.
Yeah. Commercials, books, cartoon movies.
Companionship.
What? You're selling your companionship?
You need somebody to watch TikToks on the couch with? He's there for you.
Oh.
If I'm too busy.
I love watching TikToks on the couch with you.
You really do.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday, you were sort of crying out for it. Like, come watch TikToks with me on the couch. And I said, I don't know. I've got something to do.
Yeah, you're like, Mr. I've got things to do. And I was like, well, good for you. But here, let me take a picture of you. Nice. Oh, he gave me a smile. Great, everybody.
When do I not give you a smile?
There's been times.
When you pointed a camera at me and that I have not smiled?
I don't know.
I always smile when you point the camera at me.
Oh, thanks, baby. We got to talk. We got to talk about what happened.
What happened?
What happened? We were in LA. Obviously, we've talked about it so much.
All I can remember is the flight back home.
All right.
The flight back home had a way of almost just negating everything that occurred before it, which was considerable. We did quite a few things in LA.
So many things happened in LA.
We did.
Truly, we could just do a whole series on it for those 3 weeks. But yes, the flight home, the day home, the whole day. Whew, that was a doozy.
I was in San Diego, or the San Diego area. Mm-hmm. You were in Glendale. These are north and south from the airport. You were north of the airport. I was south of the airport. We were meant to meet at the airport to fly back home. Myself with Hendrix, you with Izetta, you in a rental car, me being driven by Dan Mapp, the tour manager for Dinosaur Jr. Mm-hmm. Meeting at not the peak of rush hour, but pretty close to rush hour.
Yeah.
In the Sixt car rental place. Yeah,
I shared my worry and anxiety, my pre-travel anxiety with Lou before, like the day before, and I said, "Listen, I'm struggling with."
I think we were sharing the travel anxiety about this day pretty much before the trip even started. We were like, wow, that's going to be quite a day.
That's true. Actually, you know what? You're right.
I like to worry. I like to start worrying about travel days as far in advance as possible.
Weeks in advance. Mm-hmm. Same. Yeah. It's like really, really give it just all the time it needs and deserves. Truly. So yeah, no, this was more of like the heightened moment of anxiety about it, where I was like calling you were down in San Diego, and I was like, so I had to get Izzy and myself and our rental car, this pretty badass Pacifica. It was a minivan. It was great.
I love it.
I really enjoyed it. It was a smooth ride.
Domestic brand minivan. What is it? Chevrolet?
Is that it? I don't know.
Chrysler,
Pacifica. That sounds right. I don't know. I'll go with that. But I called Lou and I was like, listen, I'm feeling worried because once I arrive at Sixt car rental facility, I was also not just bringing myself and Izzy back and our suitcases, which were considerable, Okay, I'm going to be honest.
You had to buy a new suitcase
went
for Izzy
big.
before the tour. You were like, we need another huge suitcase. And I'm like, really?
This is off the subject. So yes, we had full-size suitcases and a carry-on and her little rainbow baby suitcase, which used to be her full-size suitcase, 2 backpacks, and one of Lou's guitars.
Yep, I stuck you with one of my guitars.
Mm-hmm.
I had
and
two,
a car seat. And a car seat.
And a car seat. I took one of the guitars with me to Hawaii, even though I didn't need it there.
Yeah.
But just to lighten your load, because
Thanks,
I knew
babe.
that day, the big day back, March 1st, convening at the 6th rental. Anyway, so
Yeah.
you had a lot to carry.
So you agreed to meet me there.
Yep, you were like, why don't you just meet me at the rental car place?
Yeah,
And I'm like, yes.
As anyone know, when you are responsible for someone other than yourself who's of an age and a size where they can't really help. And I can't like go, hey, 6-year-old, go stand over there unsupervised while I drop off the car, unload it, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, it leaves you in a bind. So Dan Mapp, thank you, Dan. You drove Lou and Hendrix to 6th instead of LAX. Much appreciate. And, what's that? Oh,
Maybe we should just get this out of the
my
way.
God. There it is. Okay.
What's the time for it, Adele?
Well, this is actually extra special time because that sound means that it's an unsponsored ad is coming up. But, yep, let's hear it again, a little bit more. This is the debut of our very first international unsponsored ad.
America, are you ready for a new rental car company? We've got a fleet you can't resist. Put your trust in Sixt. Supplies Enterprise. We rent BMWs for half the price of your Ford Focus. Avis Alamo, we've come to lay you low. We save thrifty customers a real dollar. We've got Range Rovers and better uniforms. Ow, ouch! That hurts. Hot, cheap, you can't resist. Get
Okay, how are you not employed full time, just churning out these brilliant commercials for anyone? I mean, like, come on.
I'm gonna have to do it for a while before I'm scooped up. I just have to put in the work.
Yeah.
I'm only 2 months into this. I'm probably gonna have to do this for another 2 to 3 years.
Okay.
Before I'm finally employed to do what I was meant to do,
Right.
what I was put on this earth to do.
Oh my God.
Sixt Rental Car Company is a European rental car company. I've known of it for a very long time. I've seen the name.
Because you're so traveled.
I'm very traveled.
Yeah.
Been to Europe a few
World traveler,
times.
Lou
World traveler,
Barlow.
Lou Barlow. I've rented from Sixt before. We rented from Sixt to Sebadoh, had a Sixt car rental for Sweden.
Nice.
But anyway, so that's my...
Well, we are satisfied Sixt customers, hence the inspiration why we wanted to do this.
Yeah, I think, I'll be honest, a lot of the claims that I make within that, like Enterprise renting up Ford
Wow.
Chia.
The chia pet, it's growing within you.
I eat 3 tablespoons of chia seeds every morning, and that's probably 400,000 seeds.
Oh my God. You could literally have a chia pet growing
in my lungs. That's what I'm worried about.
I
That one of
know.
those seeds lodges in my lungs and takes root and
It could.
grows
Wow.
and
Oh my God.
slowly suffocates me.
It's kind of like a horror film where I'm laying in bed next to you and one day you like cough and maybe like when you cough like a vine or something comes shooting out of your throat.
And you start pulling on the
Yeah,
vine.
exactly. And then I'm like, oh my God. Anyway, so it's Lou possibly has a chia pet growing in his body. Besides that, Sixt sent me a letter very soon after we got back from LA. We've only been home for a few days, people. Okay, I'm still jet lagged. This letter came thanking me for my loyalty.
They are trying to destroy the rental car thing here in the States by bringing their flashy cars for kind of reason. They're kind of doing reasonable prices. I was overstating how cheap it really is because it's really not that cheap. There's no rental cars that are cheap these days.
Right.
But they do have an impressive fleet.
They do. And when
I've never seen so many minivans in one place.
what a beautiful sight, right?
Black
Gorgeous black fleet of minivans.
Pacificas with
Damn.
stow and go seats. I could talk. We could talk about minivans.
Well, and let's just also say that Sixt has a stunning look. I mean, their uniforms are truly stunning.
Now, what are
they
the
look so fucking cool.
What is the color thing? I have a terrible memory
Isn't it
for
orange
colors.
and black?
I don't think it's orange and black. I thought it was almost like a teal and black.
What?
I don't know. See,
I don't know. Are you going to make me Google this while we're
I
in
have
the middle
almost
of...
no memory for colors.
Well, okay, I'm going to do Sixt rental
Okay, we're doing it.
uniform.
Yeah, color scheme. It has a really sleek color scheme.
Yeah, it's orange and black.
It's orange and black?
Yeah, it's so cool. Oh my God, look at these pictures, Lou. Anyway, okay. Well, look it up, everybody. And, get on it. Sixt. Okay.
Get Sixt.
Get Sixt.
Have
And-
Sixt.
Oh, yeah. My last thing I want
Hot
to say.
Sixt.
Sixt. That's okay. Anyway, my brain went to a different place. But so we're going to just move on.
Sexy Sixt.
I did. I was like, wow. Anyway, Sixt.
The women that worked at Sixt in Englewood were
Cute.
yeah.
Yeah.
They were like, I was afraid and also I thought they were going to tell me, I thought they were going to reprimand me for something. I tried to stay out of their way.
Were you hoping they would reprimand you?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I wasn't.
Okay, you're like, please spank me. Here's my reversible belt.
Actually,
Yeah, I know. That's why I was like,
they were much bigger than me. They were
well, some
1 to 2
people,
feet
some
taller than me.
people like that. They want to be overpowered. Okay, we have really we're sliding off the
I
track.
thought you were a lot taller than me when we got together.
Okay, can we focus?
Yes.
So I want to say
hard.
one last thing. I know once you get
Sixt on the brain.
once you oh, that's Sixt, the way it sits in the brain. So one last thing about them is they gave me like a free upgrade when I was in Wisconsin in October. I was going home for my parents' 50th wedding anniversary party, and it was just a really quick weekend. Sixt really came through for me because I had pre-ordered and paid online for something like the Ford Focus. It was just me and Izzy. So I was like traveling light. Wink, wink, right? But like, I don't need a lot of stuff. Make the car small.
You like that trip? You were like, I'm never traveling light again. We need another suitcase.
That's it. This traveling light's not for me. I need more stuff. So we get there and we're, in line at the 6th rental place, whatever. I'm talking to the guy and he's shaking his head and he's like, oh, that car, that Ford Focus is not available. We don't have any. And I'm like, okay, but I prepaid for it and I paid for literally the cheapest car available this weekend because I don't need much. I'm driving to my parents' house. I'm going nowhere else. And then I will be turning around in 3 days and coming right back. There's nothing exciting is happening. Well, he took that and he was like, you know what you need? I'm like, I don't know. A BMW. So this nice fellow gave me a free upgrade because I just didn't have my cheap Ford Focus. And he was like, you're going to ride in style all the way out to Turtle Lake, lady. And you're going to ride all the way back in style. And I did. And I was like, thank you. Thank you very much. So that's my 6th story.
So we met at the 6th rental car place.
Woo! Okay. So yes,
we all came together. Hendrix, Izzy, you, me.
Yeah.
And then we got on the shuttle.
Oh my God, that shuttle was packed.
Absolutely packed shuttle. To the Delta terminal.
Delta.
And you lost this umbrella.
Oh my God.
We had so much stuff all piled on the luggage racks.
You guys, we were like hoarding the poor luggage rack. I mean, this was a full shuttle, like a totally like seeping, oozing, overflowing shuttle. Okay. And our luggage took up so much of the luggage rack. And I also had a really nice $40 umbrella that I bought at Descanso Gardens, and it did not fit in any of my luggage. So I was like, what the fuck do I do with this umbrella? And you're like, just bring it on the plane, baby. So I had this umbrella as well. The umbrella didn't make it, folks.
I forgot it.
Lou forgot the umbrella.
I put it above the suitcases, and I said, I'm glad I'm seeing myself put this above the suitcases because I am not going to forget about it in the 5-minute journey to the terminal. And I did. It flew right out of my brain in that 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Jostling around in this absolutely full shuttle van.
Yeah.
Trying to remember, like, oh, God, I got to tip this guy.
Right. And then did we forget to tip him?
I tipped him.
Oh, you did tip him. Thank
I did.
God.
I forgot to tip a few shuttle drivers on this trip, and Hendrix relentlessly gave me shit about it. So I wanted to remember to be a good example to my son and tip. And you, of course, because you always know the right thing to do.
Well, I'm always handing you cash. I'm like, tip. Anyway.
I'm always like, why do I have to hand him the money? Because I'm the man?
No,
Is this a vestige? Is this some sort of crumbling
I'll tell you why.
vestige of my...
I'm hustling off the shuttle after the young child.
That's right.
So you're the last one standing.
That's true.
So that's why.
Yeah, and
I'm happy to hand them the money.
I'm muscling that stuff down to the
curb.
To the curb.
While I'm, keeping
while you're trying to keep Izzy from running into traffic.
Exactly. So,
okay. Fair
so
enough.
we're... That's why you tip, goddammit. All right, so we get to Delta, and then, all right, I have an American Express credit card for Delta. It's a Delta Amex, everybody.
I have a Delta Amex, and I don't get any of the
quirks. Perks. The quirky perks.
Perks and quirks.
Yeah, I do. I somehow ended up with a much nicer credit card than him. Go do that math. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't matter. I have it. I'm in possession of it. So I've got the power, which means we have to stand in the special agent line. You don't do the little kiosk when you have this credit card. You stand in the special agent line because you get your checked bags free.
Yeah, it's actually a considerable savings.
We
probably saved close to $1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I will.
That's no exaggeration. I am
Truly.
prone to exaggeration,
Truly.
but I'm telling you, it really piles up, so to speak.
Yeah, when you our luggage and the fees.
And the fees, like, oh my God, I know
It's
I know a lot about these fees.
I
I've seen things.
Oh my God.
Fees, I've seen them compound, expand.
Grow
anyway,
like
but
the chia on
we
your
only had
stomach.
to pay for we only had to pay for one bag, but we had to stand in this crazy line because it was like
the line was truly
wasn't really that long, but it was slow, and it was all of the people that were taking animals onto the planes.
So the special agent assist line shares not only the people with the special credit card, it shares the animal line. We are one in the same. So it's us and the animal people. Didn't know that till we got in the line.
Clutching watching their service animals, looking nervously like
Well,
people
no,
that don't want to fly.
These weren't service animals.
Well, they were. I saw one that was
one.
said literally service animal.
One
on
was
it.
a service animal. This is simply just where you travel. If you travel with an animal at all, there was only one service animal. But let me tell you guys, it was a circus. Not a circus. It was a zoo.
Circuses have animals.
They do, or they used to. Anyway,
It was a bit of a circus,
The
I would
whole
say.
line itself was retro. It was like such a throwback.
Oh yeah, it was long. Everybody was like kind of
Bitchy.
cranky.
So cranky.
I haven't seen that kind of crankiness for a while. Believe
Yeah.
it or not, I travel all the time. I
do.
I don't
Well-traveled
complain
do.
about traveling that much because I've
Truly.
seen things.
Oh
I've
my
lost bags over the 30 years that I've traveled. I think things have gotten remarkably better.
Yes, you have said that.
I don't care what people have to say about it and how much people complain. It's gotten better.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean it's great. Doesn't mean you're not going to have some really bad days and some long ass lines. Anyway, that was a long line.
It was truly a long line, actually. It was legitimately moving so slow.
Some people had like 4 animals
Yes,
with them.
and one guy had a dog that was so huge, and the kennel. This was a dog that had to go underneath, but I don't know what happened, but that was what's the word? A cluster.
Clusterfuck.
It was a clusterfuck. It truly was. The woman looked absolutely frazzled who was helping him. The guy seemed not frazzled, but sort of like over it. And then the dog was just massive. And did you see it had a big muzzle on its face?
I did not see the dog.
Oh my God. It was huge. And it had a muzzle on
Have you
its
ever heard
mouth.
a dog barking from the pressurized baggage cabin on a flight? Just hear this muffled like,
Oh my God. No.
that can make you feel more anxious on a flight as
Yeah.
as hearing the sound of an animal,
Suffering.
below you.
I know. I worry about those animals. God. I was worrying about these animals. It's not my job, but I was worrying, okay? And people were really mad. And as we were nearing the end of this ridiculously long line,
We were doing great, by the way.
Yeah, we got to...
Izzy was doing great.
Truly. Actually, thank God I had gum in my backpack because that saved her because she was dying of thirst. She wanted the thirst. But, of course, we didn't have the water because you can't have the water. You're going to be going through security soon where you can't have water. So I handed her gum, and...
That worked.
It worked. Okay.
I didn't think that was going to work, but...
It worked. Thank God. So we're nearing the end of this very long line, and... the tunnel, right? You're starting to see the light. You're like, okay, we're almost there. And then this guy and this woman, not that far behind us. Okay. They had a dog, not a service dog, just their dog. It was like, I swear to God, I think her name was Shelly. So this guy, he literally raises like a hand in the air and he shouts to like the world, like, hey,
Into the
air, like, this
terminal.
this is unacceptable. We have been waiting too long. We're going to miss our flight. Like, being a real dick.
Didn't he preface it by going, hey, gate agents.
Yeah, gate agents.
Hey, gate agents.
And then he said something like,
We've been in line,
Yeah, like, if you even care, people are going to miss their flight. And I mean, capital D-I-C-K.
And then he was like, and then his wife, and he's like, oh, I know Shelly.
Yeah.
So I remember.
Wasn't it Shelly?
He's like, Shelly, I'm just trying to, yeah.
Or the dog was Shelly.
Oh, I don't know.
Anyway, someone's Shelly. I think it was a dog. And his wife was like, for God's sake, like, don't say anything. And because, she's just quietly dealing with the bullshit like the rest of us. Because you do.
Wow, this poor guy, maybe his flight is leaving in half an hour.
Okay.
Because we got a whole other line to wait in. This is the
right,
line
we hadn't
before the
even
line.
hit security yet. People, this is just to check your damn bags and to get your boarding pass. And so, yeah, I was like, oh, okay, maybe his flight's boarding right now, or I don't know, but that's still wicked inappropriate. What a jerk. And like, he acted just like so huffy, and I'm like, ew, I haven't seen that in a while, and that was really gross. So I was like, that guy sucks. But anyway, we get through. It was worth it because it saved us so much money, and we got our shit like taken from us right there too. The guitars, the car seat, everything.
That was great.
Usually you have to carry a guitar and a car seat to a special spot.
Exactly. Like it's with guitars and stuff, all the heavy stuff. They're like, okay, well, we're not touching this now. You need to take it. And then they gesture down to the end of the terminal.
Yeah.
And then you have
special spot. Yeah.
You have to take all your crap down there yourself and hand it to somebody down there.
Exactly.
We have a lot, as travelers, I will say over the years, we have more to do now.
Truly.
Traveling. We have to do,
After
we have to do a lot of jobs. There's
a lot of jobs.
We have to undress. We have to take stuff out of our bags.
Yeah.
We have to carry our bags to the oversize.
Separating of so many things.
Yeah. And a lot of jobs.
It's a lot of jobs. And I will say this. I am intimately aware of life pre and post 9/11 because I worked at the airport, everyone. I worked at the Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport at a really fucking busy place at a coffee shop. And I experienced day-to-day life of having to go through security pre 9/11. I'm not going to lie, it was pretty easy breezy. It really was. Mm-hmm. And I think it was easier on them as well.
Okay. On the people that worked at the airport?
Exactly.
Okay.
But okay, so where were we?
We checked our bags.
Yes.
We're on our way through security, which was quite quick.
Yes.
The security line was
merciful. Absolutely.
Mercifully short.
Yeah.
And then we come out of baggage claim and bam, I saw Andy Anderson.
Oh my God. Right.
This incredible, I mean, in my world, very famous skater guy.
Yes.
This kid, he's an amazing skater. He skates like you said. He skates like a ballerina. This guy is so talented.
Yeah.
I've been kind of actually obsessed with him. Like he is really a figure for me.
Yeah.
So
he was sort of like important to you during the pandemic. You spent a lot of time watching him.
I loved watching this kid like dance on his skateboard and do these incredibly strong tricks because he can do all of the other stuff. He can do all the dramatic, moves. But what sets him apart is his grace.
Exactly.
And his creativity, because he also has videos of him like, just playing random piano, and he makes these beautiful videos where, very artistic videos. Anyway, Andy Anderson.
He's graceful, okay?
Andy Anderson, and you were like, go say hi to him. And I'm like, oh God, in my brain.
And I only said that because you told me who that was. I would have just kept walking. I didn't know, but you literally kind of started shaking. You were like, oh my God, that's Andy Anderson. His hands were shaking, people. Uh-huh. And I actually can't even remember a time when you've seen someone and you started shaking, and you, again, well-traveled.
Hey,
Barlow, everybody. He's
I was in a store
people.
once. I was in a store once alone with Angelina and Brad and their brood. Me and them. That was it. And did I shake? I didn't shake.
Yeah. No shaky.
And I didn't go say hi either. But
right. Because you probably didn't care. You're like, okay, great.
I kind of didn't care.
Right. Yeah.
I saw Keith Urban and... what's her face walking down the middle of Nicole Kidman walking down the middle of whatever. Yes, I've seen celebrities.
Seen people, and
this was
People.
different. This was like Andy, and you made me go up and say hi to him.
I did,
and he was super sweet. He's like a 26-year-old indie rock fan, and I'm like,
it was a great
right
moment.
Away, I was
everybody,
like, you were like, tell him you're in Dinosaur Jr. I'm like, oh God, but I did. I said
it was the thing to do.
And he was like, oh my God. Dinosaur Jr., I love that song. Hold on, what is it? And he starts flipping through his Spotify. He's like, this one, In a Jar. I love that song. And I'm like, hey, I played bass on that song. Because he kind of didn't know exactly who I was, but he knew the band.
In the cutest way. But he knew Dinosaur Jr. for real.
Skaters.
And he was like, the song is my jam right now. In a Jar is my jam. It was so cute. You had your picture taken with him. It was super fucking exciting. All right. Mm-hmm. Great moment. We get to the gate. Okay. Everyone starts trickling in for our flight. Our flight is now delayed, by the way, as well. It's delayed. Obviously, we've had to change planes, and we've took a shuttle across the tarmac.
Get right to the bird.
So then,
the bird.
We're settling our asses down in some seats because we've got about another hour before we're going to go anywhere. There's no rush, okay? Just remember that. There's no rush. There's all the time in the world, okay? Are you feeling where we're going with this, everybody? Okay, so before
I know where you're going.
Are you there still? Is anyone still listening? Okay, so then... Hendrix, who's currently smarting over the fact that he didn't get a picture with Andy Anderson, and we're like feeling very ashamed as parents, like, oh, God damn it, okay.
I didn't think of it. He doesn't like to have his picture taken.
He doesn't like to have his picture taken, so we didn't immediately go like, hey, go get your picture, whatever. He's then now sees this guy in our gate who's like kind of gesturing wildly and like, you know, has this fucking bird. He's got a bird, okay, on his arm. And then he like hands it to this woman and she's standing there with this guy. And then he's taking a picture of them with the bird.
It's kind of an ordinary looking parrot. And also, I'd like to note, we haven't talked about this. It kind of looked fucked up. It looked like it had, you know, it kind of looked like a really poochy parrot. And my ex-father-in-law had a poochy parrot. I mean, they were like, there's patches missing from their feathers, and like, and this one's, its neck was exposed.
I was just gonna say, what happened to the neck of that thing?
It was not a healthy looking parrot.
Yeah.
Didn't matter because people were like flocking around this guy like he was a fucking celeb, like he was Andy Anderson.
Correct. He was. It was almost like a magician pulled a fucking dove out of his hat. He was like, everyone, I have a bird. And Hendrix was like, he has a bird. I need to go have my picture taken with him. And we're like, you do? Why? Is this a special bird? I don't know.
It was not a cockatoo. Those are like, I actually followed someone through the streets of New York once while he had a cockatoo perched on his index finger. He was later on indicted and imprisoned.
Wow.
Terrible person. He was walking into traffic with a cockatoo on his finger. That's what he did. He and his cockatoo.
Yeah.
This criminal. But so just because you have a bird, like I'm like, I feel like it makes me a little suspect.
Yeah. You and
but
your
this
bird.
This guy was like, you and your bird. But this guy, you're right. People were flocking around him, and Hendrix went up and got his picture taken with him, and was like this. And he said, "Tell him what."
I think he said that this was like the most magnificent moment of my life.
Yeah,
and I was like, that was it.
And sure enough,
we're done.
There's pictures of Hendrix with this fucking raggedy bird.
I don't know. Listen, everyone. I don't know if it'll make the reel because kids and pictures and social media. So just settle down. But trust us, the picture exists. Okay, it's real. Well, okay, but yes, the bird was kind of fucked up looking. I was like, does it have a chain? Is it being choked right around its neck? I couldn't figure it out.
What is he doing to that bird?
What is he doing to that bird? Well, then we got the scoop from Hendrix because I was like, what's the deal? Is this a special bird? And he's like, no, it's just literally this guy decided to have a bird and he's just wanting to share it with people. Okay. So as Hendrix is telling me this story, right in my little row, okay, where I'm sitting my butt down, me and Izzy and whatever, we're hanging out. A couple walks up, everybody, to join our gate with their animal. Can you guess who that couple is?
Shelley.
The man whose fist went in the air, who said, Gate agents, we shall miss our flight.
You know what I liked when he did that in line? In his agitation, I love the way he did gesture. He almost did it as if we were all going to join en masse.
Exactly.
And rise up against our oppressors with him. And the look of like total disinterest that was around this guy was so great. I'm like, you know what? I like humanity. I like humanity. Airports, traveling actually it brings out the worst in people, but also it brings out what I kind of feel is the best about people, which is, you can just kind of sit through the bullshit and we can just sit there all together and go like, hey, our plane's been delayed another 4 hours. And generally, nobody starts screaming.
Yep.
Sometimes they do.
Yep. And I think also, you're right. And it's sort of like there was this collective, like, they called bullshit. They're like, no. Sorry, guy. We're not.
No one even looked at him.
They were like, we're not indulging your total ridiculous behavior right now. And that was a beautiful moment to witness. So then the gesturing man with Shelley the dog, who I kid you not, I literally saw him like French kissing this dog. He loves this dog so much. Ugh. He put his mouth, and listen, okay, I love animals too. And when I had Tito and Bob, I kissed them plenty. But was it like a tongue on tongue? No. Okay. He really, really felt really strongly about showing everyone how much he loved his dog. So, but I felt really like smug. And like, I was just sort of like laughing because I'm like, you asshole. Of course you're on this flight. You were not late. We were on the same damn flight that's delayed. And you are in no loss of like losing your flight at all. But it was a really like, it was interesting mix. It was like men and their pets who really want attention.
Well, I think that
I have to wrap it up, guys. I have a lunch date with my friend Jeanette.
You have friends.
I have a friend. She's so great. And I want to go spend time with her too. Not that this wasn't great, but listener, thanks for joining us on this recap episode of
I don't think I'm going to edit any of this. This is an epic one.
Thank you for joining Lou and Adele for this, the 17th episode of the Raw Impressions Couplecast podcast. Thank you for joining them. Flew to Hawaii